Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Lisa Kusima and I'm passionate about building strong families. So in this video, we're going to be talking about bad money habits that are keeping you poor. And as the new year is, arriving, we want to be richer in 2025. So if you want to be richer in 2025, this video is for you. I also wanted to let you know that you can find us on podcasts. Yes, finally, you can listen in on all your podcast platforms and you'll find us there. Shoe Day is happening at the lovely Canary Hotel. Now, Canary Hotel has an amazing restaurant, called the Nest Restaurant, where you can come enjoy some, amazing food. I particularly love the pork chops here. They are delightful. You can come and enjoy some food, come out with a friend, have a money date with your husband, with your partner, and talk about those finances in a good environment. They also have quiz night that happens every Thursday here at the Nest Restaurant. So if you're looking for a good laugh, a good, good time with your friends, please come for quiz night every Thursday here at the Nest Restaurant at Canary Hotel. So if you know me, you know I love financial conversations because we are here to build a financial legacy. So to have this conversation with me, I decided to bring a financial coach on the channel to have this jazz. Coach Marjo, welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Thank you so much, girl, for having me. Finally, I'm on the LK show. Excited. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I've been following all through. I'm excited and humbled to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. So just introduce yourself, tell them who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Marjorine Nantambi. Most people call me Coach Marjo. I'm a finance and personal growth coach. So that means I help people be better. I help people achieve goals. That is in the finances, but also the other life, the personal development world. And I'm also a corporate consultant, CEO, founder, Unravel Coaching and Consultancy that we launched recently.
Wow.
We do a lot of capacity buildings and trainings for companies as well as team building. That is what I do.
Amazing. So we're in the presence of the right person who's going to give us the tips. So Marjo, you know that at the beginning of every year, people have goals. They want to make a certain amount of money, but some things are holding them back, are holding us back.
Yes.
So we want to just share a few tips that can help people maybe pull out those bad habits and talk about those bad habits that are keeping us poor. Because we want to do better in 2025.
The next year. That's true.
So you just share yours and then I share mine and we have, an amazing conversation.
All right. That's amazing because usually when people see finance coaches, they feel like you have made it. But what we are sharing here is the things we've gone through, some of the mistakes we've done, some of the things that we are still learning that we know that are helping us, that can help you as well. So the very first one that I would share is a habit of not having an emergency fund. Because this is something that I also didn't have for a long time. I used to imagine, I'm like, what is that? Those things are for why? It's not us, like emergency fund. So I didn't have an emergency fund for a long time. And what I will do is the money I've saved, in case something comes up, I use that. If it's investment, I use that. If it's anything, I use that. And I found that I was not able to achieve now my investment goals. Why? Most of the money was going to the emergencies. But emergencies are always there all the time.
You can't plan for it.
Yes. You're doing your things, you're going by the day, someone calls you. There's an emergency. You've not planned for that. So one habit that I think we need to start doing as we get better in 2025 is having an emergency fund. Actually, someone reached out recently and it was a conference that we were having and this person said that if you do not have an emergency fund, you have no business asking about investment.
How?
If you don't have an emergency fund, you have no business investing. Why? Because you'll invest that money and then you'll sell that asset to sort an emergency.
Exactly.
So start with the emergency, get that out of the way, have some money aside, and then make your investments. Because we see so many people, maybe have your plot of land, and then an emergency comes up, you sell it way cheaper, even half the price, because you have a pressing need. So get the emergency fund, and then think of the investments.
I agree with you. And you know, there is that saying that if you lost your job, let's say today, how many months can you go when your lifestyle is still the same
I know.
without that job or without that means of income? And I think it's something that we need to always think about. How much money do you have away that can help you in case of anything? And that's the emergency fund. And also they keep saying that you are one medical bill away.
I know, right? Oh my goodness. The money you've saved for a long time, even the assets and everything. That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
So guys, please make sure that you have that money put aside for emergencies or, you know, and things like that. And you can put it in a unit trust to be working for you as well.
True.
So that when in case of anything, you get it out, but you're still earning some interest in case nothing happens.
Yes.
I love it.
True.
That's me. For me, what would call number 2, but 1 for me is the desire to look rich instead of actually be rich.
I know, right?
For many people is that, first of all, we care what many people are saying.
Yes.
We want to present ourselves in a certain way.
Yes.
We want to drive this car because how do they see me?
I know.
So you desire to look rich instead of actually building
the wealth.
And for me, it's something that I've always, you know, been keen to, because I'm such a spender.
Yes.
I'm a spender naturally. I'm a spender. But now because I know that weakness, I just hold myself back and I say, do I actually really need these things?
Yeah.
What's the root cause? Is it just I want to please someone?
I know.
You know?
Yes.
So for me, that's the mistake sometimes I make that I have to be aware of that. Please. Sometimes delayed gratification is okay.
Exactly.
You don't have to get it now. Everything you want, you don't have to get it now. You can get it
later. That's true.
Have you
That's very
experienced
yes,
that?
definitely. I know with social media it just made everything worse. Like the expectations are up there. You will find, oh gosh, like they expect to see a certain kind of person. But like you said, you need to get to a point where you feel like, okay, this is it. This is who I am. This is the kind of life I'm living. Because then if you're living this for someone else, that is how people get to a point of getting depressed, committing suicide. You can get to that level if you don't know how to control yourself. So it is important, like she said, to actually make the actual wealth than just putting on a show to give an impression, really. If you're doing things for you, that could be okay. But if you know, like you said, if you ask yourself and you're like, okay, I'm actually not doing this for myself, then there is a problem. I used to have this problem a lot, you know, as a speaker, as a coach, you know, you're invited to speak here and there. I'm like, but I've seen this coach. What should I do? I got to a point. Dear, even if you saw me yesterday in my pink suit, I'll come back in my, it's my, what should I do with it? There are the clothes in my closet. So I made peace with that. I'm like, if this is what I have, I'm showing up dressed like that. If you go back and go, I saw you here. Yes, then you know it's actually my clothes. You didn't borrow it. Yes. So we need that peace. Yes, because otherwise we shall make very bad financial decisions just to please other people.
And we have even many people just maybe getting into debt for things that they can't afford.
That's true.
You know, if you may have a principle, if I can't buy it 3 times, that means I can't afford it.
That's true.
If I can't buy it 3 times, it means
that's
I can't afford
it. That's a great principle. Yes.
So please think about that. And also we have this new trend of expensive hobbies.
I know.
You have a group of friends, maybe you're not on the same, and they're saying, let us go to Dubai.
I know.
Now you don't want them to feel, you don't want to show that, for you don't have the money. But it's okay to communicate and say, that's one, I'm not able. Don't just jump on bandwagons because you want to look a certain way.
Yes, it's very important. Like you said, even that pressure in friends and our social circles. I usually tell people that even as a finance coach, when you hear me talking about the trips that, maybe you have Dubai, we have Zanzibar, I tell people, yes, you've heard me talking about it, but if you did not plan for it, please don't come. Because you don't want to start getting maybe money you had planned for something to do this to please someone. So it's important. Even the groups, they have to understand that yes, we are friends, you're going for this trip, I'm not able to because maybe I didn't plan for it, and it is okay. Like really, very important.
I love that. So guys, focus on actually building the wealth, delay some gratification, but in future it will pay off.
It always does. Always does.
What's your next one?
My next is actually related, not having a budget.
How?
not having a budget. I was those people that never had a budget for a long time. So I would spend money the way it comes. You know how you actually spend the money before it comes? You're like, this person has promised me money next week. So let me buy this thing. When it comes, I will.
It may not come.
And it somehow doesn't come. And then you start pressing. You're like, my God, I already did this. But a budget is important because then, like they tell us, you have to show the money where it has to go. Because if you don't, it will show you where it wants to go. Because usually spending is just close by. They tell us even when you wake up, that's already a financial decision. The moment you say, I'm opening my eyes, financial decision. You're going to switch on the Yaka bill. You're going to, you want tea. You want to shower, soap, what? All these things you are spending money. So we need to get into a habit of having a budget. And I know usually creating a working budget is hard and it takes time, but also it takes you getting on that journey. Start with what you have. For example, if it's maybe the end of the month or start of the month, ask yourself, okay, how am I spending money? And that is because I was struggling on that journey. That's why I made a financial journal to help me like track my money and say, okay, if this is what I'm spending, that means I need to budget like this. I need to cut this, because you cannot cut what you don't know. You cannot track what you don't know. You cannot budget what you don't know. If you don't know how much you're spending on food, on transport, then you cannot plan for them.
How much is coming in?
Or how much is coming in.
You're like,
yes.
What did I use it for?
I know. You get it, you wonder, where did the money go? And I was like that for a long time. I remember after I left my corporate job, I wondered, okay, these people have been paying me every month. There was nothing. Totally nothing. I'm like, where did this money? Nothing. So that's when I got on this journey as well to first help myself. And then the tips that helped me, they're the same things that I keep sharing. So I usually encourage people, start where you are. Don't wait, okay, I'll start next year. No, even now, now that December is coming, the excitement that comes with it, if you don't have a budget,
you spend everything.
Please, if you're watching this video before 2025, I hope you're not the one who is going to cry about that January.
Please, if you're crying for Jan, that means you didn't plan.
That means you didn't plan.
There was
exactly.
money somewhere. You just
exactly.
ate it.
Yes. So if you're watching this video before 2025, make sure that you turn these things, these small things around such that next year is a different story. Start with that budget.
And I really love the element of tracking that you've talked about, because what you track, you can improve. Now for me, I also have, like on my phone, any expense, I note it down. Any income that comes quickly before I note it down, because it helps you just know and see where money.
That is true.
Light bulb moment with Lisa. Did you know that the wealthy use other people's money to become rich? The problem for you, you hear loan. I can't. That's the issue. You don't know how to use loans well. Learn more about financial management today.
And I also remember when we had a marriage retreat, sometime after like 1 year in marriage, went for a marriage retreat, and one of the speakers was asking us, okay, what's your net worth? Let's calculate. Everybody calculate your net worth. Panang. We were like, this is not good. What we saw was not good, because there was really nothing happening for us. So that's when we made a decision, we need to start tracking, we need to start planning for this money properly, we need to start knowing where to go, because even when you have a budget, before you have a budget, you should have a goal.
That's true, definitely, yes.
So that's a mistake I think people also make. They don't have a goal. So if you don't know what you want to achieve by the end of the year, the year is going to reach, and you're just looking and you're like, I didn't make money, but you did plan.
That's true. That's
and I know you love vision boarding and all that. First, tell us about that in terms of financially. How do you plan?
It's very important, and I'm glad you brought it up. Actually, it would have been the first mistake, not having a financial goal. Because these other things that we talk about, emergency fund and all of that budgeting, they start with a goal. Actually, tell people, one of the books that I love is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of the habits is begin with the end in mind. So what is the end in mind? Usually we say, I don't have money, I'm so broke. Have you ever been in a situation when and an emergency happens? Maybe you're broke, you have no money on your phone, no money in your wallet, and then they call you, either a loved one is sick, somehow you find the money. Why? You've tuned your mind to look for that money. That's what a goal does for you. That if you have that financial goal, you say, okay, this year I want to buy land. That is the goal that you have. You'll be shocked where the finances will come from. I know maybe you could be watching this and you have that testimony, because I know it happened for me as well. The things that I put on my vision board in my financial section,
Yes.
because you set goals in the different areas, your spiritual, physical. In my financial, the land that I put, I was able to tick it off with the same income coming in.
The same,
Because
nothing has changed.
Nothing changes, but somehow
Right.
because you have exactly, your mind is tuned to something, you'll find the money. And that is why we usually say provision comes after the vision. Especially if you're a believer, the provision comes after the vision. That have the vision. I love Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision down. Have that vision. And then you'll be shocked where the provision comes from.
Yeah.
It's like when you start a project, usually, you don't know where the money is going to come from. If you've started a business or whatever it is that you're doing, you are not sure how you're going to survive it, but somehow you go through it. That is the provision. Same thing with the goal. Set that goal, whether it's starting a business, whether it's buying a property or whatever it is. And then because your mind is there, everything will tune to that. Even the way you budget. Have you ever seen people building a house and then they say, this one says a bag of cement in every month.
Exactly. Because
You see a pizza and you're like,
cement.
okay, this pizza would get a bag.
Yeah.
Because their mind is tuned to
Tuned,
that.
yes.
And that's the beauty with having a financial goal.
I love it. And also for those who are married and with families, something that has really helped me and Steve is having money dates.
Yes, you talk about
Because
it.
you're talking, you're tracking, you're looking. We're like, at the end of the year, we said we wanted to have, let's say,
Yes.
X amount of millions. How far are we now? Now, 2 months left.
Yes.
Are we almost?
The pressure is crazy.
What do we have to do to achieve? You know?
Yes.
But that helps you because you're moving together.
Yes.
You're talking because you're both bringing in that kind of money. So having that accountability together, we're like, this, so I cannot go and buy manyawa what?
Yes, when
we
you
have
know,
our financial
that's
goal.
true.
We have not achieved it.
Yes.
Now they are buying what? You
I
know?
know.
So it helps you also align where money comes from and where it's going.
Yes.
And even, they say like, if you got $1 million today, do you know what you can do with it?
I know, right?
Well, you know.
Me, I know, but sometimes,
Yeah.
and the thing with money, even when you have this plan, sometimes when the money arrives, the brain first freezes,
I know,
and you're
right,
like,
you're like,
okay.
Yeah, but that means we should have a plan. You
ready.
say, if we get this free money from somewhere, I don't know how, what shall we do with it?
Yes.
So that's all part of having a goal. Yeah, that's really important. Yeah, so please, if you don't have a financial goal, let's start now. Don't wait for the year to begin. Like, I will start in January.
I know.
Start having that goal for 2025 now.
That is true. And I love what you talked about, the couples, those in relationships. It's important to have these conversations because then you get to find that, okay, we are different because we have different personalities.
That's true.
Maybe you're a saver, the other person is a spender.
Yes.
And you're always clashing. Me, I want to save, the other wants to, like you keep clashing. Yes. Then you go to church, they give the biggest pledge, but we don't have money at home. So having those conversations as couples is very important. Also finding out who has the strength in what. That's and there is no personality that is bad. Even the spender is a good personality. So you know that this person is a saver, so they'll help us plan the investments and what. And the spender can be the one planning the trips, planning the dates and everything. They'll do it so well. So just find out how you can balance the two personalities, but whatever it is, have money conversations. Because I know sometimes, even when you're having those money conversations, it's like we are fighting a certain kind of battle. No, money should not be, and I know it's one of those things that bring issues,
apart,
yes, in relationships, but it shouldn't be. Money is a beautiful thing that can help you do so many things. But when you look at it as an evil thing, then you can actually not achieve anything with it. So normalize having those conversations and having those family goals. It's important. Me at home, I have 2 children. My son knows that if he wants anything, we have to plan for it. He knows we have a vision board. So one time he was joking. He saw a dining that he got. Mommy, is that the dining that was on the vision board?
Wow.
Mommy, are those the vision board curtains? Like now he knows. We say, now we want to take a trip. We say, okay, let's put it here. We get a picture. Mommy, when are we going to the vision board trip? So even the children, they know now they can't just ask for toys because they know you're saving for something. So if you have a family, it's important to incorporate them.
And how old is your son?
My boy is 5.
Imagine 5. You've started early,
5 years.
And
they are saving already. Yes. They get some money. Even my little baby is 2 years. Next to Royal. So even my baby, when they see any money around, Mommy, I put it piggy bank. They have their things there. So they may not really get it, but when you start them off early, at least they know there's a bit of saving, there's goals and all those things. When you have a family, it's the best thing you can do.
It is. It really is. Please, you don't want to find after 5 years, nothing. You have nothing to your name. You have nothing. It's really It's not even godly.
I know, because I know God says we leave an inheritance for our children's children.
So it's not godly to just be there
Yes.
living for,
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
The next bad habit is not starting to invest early.
You just read my point.
Great minds think alike.
Yes.
I keep looking back and I'm like, I wish I had, only if I had started early. Oh my
You
goodness.
differ.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I started where I did, because sometimes I have these sessions in other like companies where I speak to older people and they keep wondering, how old are you? Oh my God, I wish I had
started
known
early,
it.
imagine.
Yes, even me, I'm wondering, I wish I had started early. They're saying, I wish I was your age.
Yeah.
So clearly, the best thing you can ever do for yourself is starting early. If you feel you have already gone a bit, start where you are.
Yeah.
It's still okay. But if you are watching this and maybe you're at the university, that's the best time to start. People feel like university is about the life, which is okay. I tell people, have your life, but start on the saving. Get a unit trust at least. Start the habit. Because if you're not able to handle that little money, that 100K, you'll not be able to handle the 1 million, the 10 million, it's the
It's a
same.
principle.
Exactly. It's a principle. It's the same mind. The same mind that you have that is spending that 100K is the same mind that will spend the 10 million, the 100 million. So when you start early on this journey, then it helps you get better even faster. So start now. And also, you can look at the different investments that are available. It's not that everyone should be in real estate. No. There are so many things that you can do that are able to match into your portfolio or your profile. Because some people say, for me, risk, no. So if you're not a risky person, don't say, okay, we're all buying shares, you go and buy. No. Before you put your money anywhere, I tell people, make sure that you can explain that investment to maybe a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old or even your grandparent. That if they don't get it, that means you don't get it.
Yeah, because you're not understood.
And don't put your money there. So you need to understand the investment. And the beauty is, all these different platforms, you can ask the questions. Even when you go to a bank and you say, maybe I want to invest in the bills and bonds, sit that person down. They're paid to explain to you. If it means sitting the whole day and they're helping you understand, sit there and make sure that you understand every detail before you put your money. We've seen so many people making very bad investment decisions. You find that someone still needs the cash, but they'll put it all away in maybe the bought property. On the one-on-ones, I know, right? On the one-on-ones I do, there are people that say, Marjo, me making money is not a problem, but I make the money and I'm good at investing, but I never have cash. So you find someone is starving at home, but they have apartments somewhere, or they have buildings, and they have nothing that they can turn into cash.
Asset rich, cash poor.
Yes, exactly. So I tell people, have a balance at least, because if you don't, then you'll lose the asset to get that cash. But have a bit of assets, have a bit of the near cash, the unit trust that we talk about, the bills, the bonds and things like that, such that it is balanced. But whatever it is, start early. Start now, actually, if you're watching this.
Because 20-year-olds have the mentality. Now I'm 30.
I know. Oh my goodness.
20-year-olds have the mentality that, you only live once.
Yes.
I will enjoy. Some ladies will be like, I'll start when I get married.
Yes.
Because a girl should not have her own house. Which guys, please start working on those investments. And because people are not starting early, they're not learning about financial things like you've talked about.
True.
You don't know anything about finances. You don't know anything about investment. You don't know anything. Like when someone tells you bonds, you're like, what is that?
I know.
Please, in 2025, we cannot continue like that.
Yes.
Read about financial investments. My financial advisor told me, no asset class should be more than 40%. That for you, all your investment, 80% is in land.
Yes.
80% is in real estate. No, diversify that you've mentioned. So that in case of anything, you have near cash assets.
That's true.
In case of what, you have the land. At least it's growing. You get it? So please make sure you learn about finances. Follow these guys on Instagram. They're ever giving us tips, financial tips, financial journals and all that stuff, so that you can get acquainted with financial information. I think that will set you apart from many other people.
That's true. And I think that should be the next mistake that we emphasize, not getting that information. Because the truth is, these are things that are never taught in school. Never. They teach us all the biology, all the chemistry, the history, and all of that. No one, even when you do a master's, no one teaches you how to handle your finances.
Personal finance.
No one. So we need to be intentional as we get into 2025 to get this information. It took me seeking this information to start getting on the journey because I saw the area I was in, and I remember at that point, that is when COVID hit. So whenever I would hear people, save money, invest. I'm like, save what?
Which
invest
one?
what? I don't have anything. I don't have a job. What do you expect me to save? But then that is when it hit me. I started getting on that journey of learning. Even the books about finances. It's true what they say, that when you want to hide anything from an African, put it in a book. But we need to be the people that change that. I tell people books have changed my life. The things that I do now, the things that I teach, most of them I learned from books. And these books, I always come here and I recommend the same books. One of the books that changed my finances is Straightforward Financial Growth by a Ugandan author, Moses Mukisa, the lead pastor of Worship Harvest. Very practical, simple things that we can do. The percentages that I usually recommend, save 20%. What I learned from that book. I did not come up with those things. So seeking this information is very important because no one is going to help you unless you're willing to help yourself. So let's be intentional. When you see a workshop about finances, go attend it.
Pay. Invest
in yourself. Yes, invest in yourself. Free books are online. Some people say, I don't have time to read. We have podcasts. Audios. You can just follow maybe a coach or whatever, anyone that helps you learn something on finances. Follow them and learn.
Actually, www.pdfdrive.net.
Free books.
Free books. Free books. So please, you cannot say you don't have money to buy.
No excuse.
At least read an ebook. You know?
Yes.
I really love that. Also, the other bad mistake is the people that we have around us. You know, they say the people you have around you also can influence your goals, who you become, and stuff like that. So if you are the richest,
I know,
in your group,
you're the Gamba Nobu.
You are the Gamba Nobu. You are the who is who. Like, please, you may need to just change. Okay, not throughout the circle, no, but like look for another circle where you can learn from and aspire. So who inspires you when it comes to finances?
Exactly.
Because if every time you're with people we are all struggling every time, guess what? That's where you're going to be. You're not going to grow. So when you meet Majo, or when you meet another person who, let's say, is earning millions, you're inspired. You're like, how do you do it? Or maybe you can even just assess their kind of life, and then you end up picking something because character always rubs on us. So which kind of people do you have? So if you have the same circle, you're not learning, you're not changing any network, you're not meeting new people, guess what? You're going to remain in the same box.
That is true. So actually in 2025, that's one of the things you need to be working on. Looking for those people, like you said, people that are going to help you think out of the box. I usually have sessions and I meet CEOs and I tell them, you need to go to a room, even when you're a CEO, that in that room you'll be the littlest person. That yes, you're a CEO. You know when you're a CEO, and right now with us people that are starting our own businesses, everyone is a CEO somehow. So like, I'm CEO. But you need to get to a place where in that room you're the littlest, you're the smallest person. That if they're looking for someone to clean, you are the person they send. What that does to you is it will humble you. And it's only at that point when you're humbled that you're ready to learn. Because if your ego is up here, you're like, what are these people? I'm the CEO. Like, I call the shots around here. Then you can never grow as a person. That even when you're doing well, get people that are doing better than you because now you're stretching yourself to the next level. So it is really, really important to watch the people that we are hanging out with most of the time because then those will form who we become. And like she said, do not drop all your friends. Keep them around, but get into other spaces. Because
it's true. Your network is your net worth.
That is very true.
So who are the 5 people that you are, that is your net worth. So
and it's true. When you look at them, actually you can just try it now. Like just look at the people that you talk to most, the people that you just get their net worth. Somehow you're there around them, either the average, and this is the fact.
It's true.
It's just that. So if you want to change that,
step out a little.
Step out. And some spaces will require you to pay to be in those spaces. Pay and be in those spaces.
It's an investment.
They'll transform your life.
And I think the biggest issue we have is like we don't want to invest in ourselves.
That's another issue that they should not, those that are writing.
Not investing in yourself. Everything you say, they pay 50K. Sure.
I know.
Those guys want to eat our money.
They want to steal our money. Can you imagine?
Go and be in a new space. I know it can be maybe you're scared of it. Sometimes you're like, "Wanang," but go in a new space. And I think that's one thing I've learned to do. I don't like change. I like, where I
Your
am.
comfort.
Yeah, you know what to anticipate, what to expect.
Yeah.
But I've learned that I need to step out, because when you step out, your eyes are opened to so many things.
Yes.
You thought you were doing things well.
Yeah.
Then you go and meet someone who's making 500
I
million.
know. You're like,
in this
I was
economy.
playing. I know. When
I
people
want
have money, if you're in
Exactly.
your group and you always say, hey, economy, you're in the wrong circle. People are making money in Kampala. I tell people, if you're
Yes.
broke, cry alone on your pillow in your bedroom,
Yeah.
closed door. Because out here in this Kampala, people have money.
We just need to understand how they're
know.
making it. Give us the tips and also
Yes.
rub some shoulders.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please change your network.
that is true.
Yes.
Yes. Another bad habit is not planning our giving.
But Marjo, I think you see my point here. Not giving back. Yeah.
Not planning our giving. And we are going into that festive season.
Yeah.
So we need to be mindful. Giving is a very good thing. I usually encourage people to be generous.
Yeah,
It's very
you have to
good to be generous. Even the Bible teaches us to be generous. And usually when you're generous, it comes back, okay? But I tell people, plan your giving. That recently we have this issue of black tax going out. I meet people that say, for me, Marja, I would have done so much. I would have, but I have this person, the cousins
mother,
of
my
the
brother, my
aunties, the
sister.
uncles, and all of that I'm taking care of, that I'm not able to achieve these goals.
Yeah.
I remember recently I met a lady and she said, first she made a decision at the beginning of this year not to give. Like only to give what is planned.
Yes.
Not giving like, they call you today, you give. They call you give. So she said, I'm going to structure my giving. She called all the people she's supporting in school. What's your budget? This? Okay. Like she planned her giving. And then she was like, now this, I need to concentrate on the investments. Yeah. She said in just that time, she was able to complete the apartment block that she was building.
Imagine.
But then, because she had not planned like any money that comes, the auntie of the uncle has done this, you send money. So we need to plan our giving. And that is why usually I tell people, if you're not sure how much, use percentages.
Yeah.
They can help you. Say, okay, 20% of the money I get is for giving. After you put away either 10% or 20% for your saving, have that percentage for giving. Because if you don't, you end up giving everything. I know people that are too generous that they give everything and remain with nothing. Like they give out it and then they call you, Marjo, you know what, I don't have what to eat. You're like, but you have, someone called me, they needed the money. Please. We need to be givers, but wise givers
yes,
as
I really
well.
love that, because even us in our family, 10% is giving.
Okay.
And I keep emphasizing because my husband is such a giver.
Okay.
So he has also learned that 10%. So we are giving. If the 10% is over, but unless
I know.
I don't know. But if the 10% is over, it's wise, because you end up another person's emergency.
It's
becomes
not your emergency. It should not be your emergency.
You've heard of people. Please give me money. They want to buy a washing machine.
I know.
Meanwhile,
you don't have it. That's what happens.
When you don't have it, the person you've given them, they have bought a washing machine.
Yes.
So it has to be structured.
Yes.
And doesn't make it wrong. And I know as Christians, you'll be like, no, maybe I'm not being, holy. And no, it's okay to plan it out.
To plan your giving.
Plan the giving.
But the beauty is, even as Christians, God planned the giving. Say tithe is what? 10%. So that means if He also gave us that percentage, He wants us to use that same wisdom to plan the other giving that we are giving out. Yeah. It's really, really important. And even as we go into the festive season, and I know usually some people want to go back home and they show that, I've been in Kampala.
All my token, the boot is full.
I know. But it has to be really structured. And that is a huge mistake, because then when you go there to prove that you're the most generous person on earth, you come back in Jan and things are different. You're crying about January. Yeah. So plan your giving. It's very good to give, but make sure it is structured in a way. The people that you're helping, sit them down. And I also tell people, sometimes this help should not just be finances, that someone calls you, this one is sick, you send money. The other option would be starting something there that is even more sustainable. That instead of sending money to the village, ask them, okay, what can you do? Do not just put projects, because you may put the projects and they fail. But you can ask them, what do you think can help here? Maybe your parents back home, you can put a tank there so that everyone who comes to fetch water, they give them maybe 100 shillings, 200. You're saving a lot than sending that 50k maybe every week, every time. Empowering them to make that money. That helps than you just sending them the money.
Yeah,
that
and I
can
really
help
like
too.
that also, because when you've talked about black tax, and it happens to so many people, you know, give what you can afford to lose, you know. And sometimes someone say, your brother, your sister will say, Manange, lend me 5 million.
They'll not return that money.
Just know they will not return it. So you'd be like, now I don't have 5 million, but I can give you 200k.
Exactly.
It's
But
the
I
one
don't
can
expect
give
it
you.
back.
Yes, because
that is how it's supposed to be.
But don't say now you even get a loan to give them.
I know.
Guys.
We need to be wise. We need to be wise. That's very, very important. That person, like she said, give money that you're ready to lose. Because we've seen it with friendships, with even like marriages breaking because of money. Give money that you know that if this person doesn't pay me back, this person is my friend. It's okay. I can leave the money. We remain friends. But we see people, they used to be friends. Now they don't talk one person because of finances. So, and I also tell people, you are not a bank. First of all, that means you're not in the business of lending people money. Okay? Unless you are. If you're a money lender, that's different. But even when you're a money lender, even if this person is a friend, make sure the terms are clear. They need to know these are the terms. This is when you return the money. This is the interest. If they agree, then you give them. But if you say, this house, I'll give you back on Monday, you give them. And I don't know why that Monday never comes.
Never.
That Monday somehow. I'm also still waiting for that Monday to arrive.
Monday to be just proceed.
Yes. So we need to be mindful as we give people money. Give the money that you know is okay. That if the person does not return it, it's okay. We are still friends.
That's true. That's true. The other money mistake or bad habit is being comfortable with what we are making.
Okay.
You know, and I don't know if it's true, but for me, I've seen it from my experience. I've seen it in the corporate world. People who are working corporate and have a job, and it happened to me as well. You know, when you're working in a job, as in you're sure
your money
salary is coming.
I know.
You know, end of the month. So no hassle, no, you'll just wait for it. And you end up being in that same cycle of just being comfortable. Your only income stream is the job. And I think that's a mistake that we should stop having. Diversify how much income is coming in. You know, I keep saying, like, a table has 4 legs.
I know.
You know that caprice, a table has 4 legs. If you cut off one leg, okay, it made
one a bit, but
you remove the second one, it has gone. So now imagine you have only one form of income, one income stream. It's not sustainable in 2025. You cannot be doing that. So find ways to monetize your knowledge. Find ways to get some extra income here and there. Yes, you may say before you can't start a business, but maybe you're working in that job as an analyst. Maybe you can offer it on the side
somewhere
for some,
else.
somewhere else as a consultant
Yeah.
to make that extra buck, because you need to diversify and increase your streams of income.
Yes, that's very important. And usually when people hear us talking about different income streams, they say, oh my God, I need to start a business.
It's not the only.
It is not. That's where we got it wrong. We think that extra income is a business. And I usually tell people, if you're fully employed, forget about starting a business, because you're going to, if you're not there, you're going to be stressed. You're at work, you're not performing well, and neither is your business performing well because you're not there. So you're stressed here, you're stressed the other side. So usually we tell people, look at the other ways of making money. Like she mentioned, that passive income, or if you have that skill that you can monetize that. If you're always at office, at work, and you're the one ever making people laugh, or you're the one chairing those meetings, MC, that's already a skill. Over the weekend, if someone has a birthday, baby shower, that's how you start. That even your weekend is making you money, and that work is not interfering with your work. It's very important. If you're fully employed, make sure that your other gig or side business is not actually tampering with the because then you'll not be giving your work 100% that you're supposed to, and neither will you succeed there. We've seen those people, they're at work, but they're coordinating delivery border. I know. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. You're cheating your boss here, and definitely your business cannot start up or cannot pick up. So look for other things that you can do that do not require you necessarily being present. Or maybe tell your business people that I only deliver on Saturday. During the week, they can place the order. Maybe if you're baking cakes, Saturday morning or Friday night, you go bake your cakes, such that whatever you're doing, is not interfering
Yeah.
with your mainstream work. Yeah.
I love that. But, from what she said, what I picked is don't be funny for free.
I know, right?
You're funny, you're making people laugh in office. They're like,
can
oh
pay
my
for
God.
that.
Someone can pay
Yes,
for that.
yes,
Someone
that's
is saying,
true.
oh, you're so organized, you're so structured, you're so
Yes.
monetize that
That's
somehow.
true. Everything lately can be monetized.
Everything.
If you're that neat person ever, your desk is, there are people struggling to arrange even just
That's
the papers
true.
on their desk.
Yeah.
Like everything can be, and now with social media, anything can be monetized.
Yeah.
I tell people you can monetize that passion. Even if your passion is eating food. Now we have food content creators, not so.
my
You're
dear.
paid to eat food. So clearly, whatever it is
Yeah.
that you're doing, it could be a skill, it could be a passion, just find out how can I earn from this. And the beauty is, right now you have no option because we have these smartphones. They say YouTube is the best university you can go to.
There is
Just say, how do I make money from my passion, which is eating? It will bring you thousands of videos.
Yeah.
How do I make money even with my job? Side hustles, like everything is there for us. So make sure that you are learning something, how you can actually make more money than just the one leg that Lisa told us.
Exactly. Please make sure you have at least 4 legs,
Yes.
5 legs, 6 legs if you
Yes.
can, diversify and increase your income. Yeah. Do you have anything else left?
The other bad money habit that I can talk about is, especially now that we're getting into the festive season, is, and you mentioned it a bit, that delayed gratification.
Yeah.
So that habit of getting things impulsively, like impulsive buying. And now we have social media. Like you open your phone, someone is selling shoes. I want it
like that shoe.
immediately.
It's so nice.
This shoe. I think it can match my yellow bag. Immediately. That is another bad habit, the impulsive buying that we have, especially the ladies. I think it comes easy with us. You just see things and you want to buy them. But that is another habit that we need to really work on. I know social media is there to get us enticed. That's why social media is there. So you need to be keen when you're watching those things. I know you have so many screenshots in your phone of the things that you say you want to buy. But I learned something about that delayed gratification. There's a book I read called Profit First.
Yeah.
And in there they talked about the principle of just one more day. Just one more day principle. That when you see something and you want to buy it, give it just one more day. Like you see that dress, it is exactly the color you want. It is that design, but pass it. Go home and say, I'll come back tomorrow. Yeah.
If you still feel like that.
So if you go home and tomorrow, someday you still feel, then get it. But usually you find that you've
moved on.
Yeah, you've moved on from that thing. So use that principle and it saves a lot when it comes to impulse buying.
Yeah.
So you see something, give yourself just one more day. Go, and before you know it, and you know for the ladies, we have so many themed events. Pink party, white, all white, all those things. Nudes, I know. So
browns.
The browns, the nudes, the pink,
yellows,
all shades of pink.
Caribbean.
I know. So sometimes when you give it just one more day, before you know it in your closet, I had the white thing. You've sorted that money, you've saved that money.
Yeah.
So that principle of just one more day can help with the impulse buying.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Save it, wait.
Yes.
Wait and see. And even us in business, one thing we do, when someone texts you, do you have perfumes on your body? You have to reply immediately.
I know, they can change their mind.
When someone overthinks, but they already have a perfume, they can change their mind. And remember, you want to sell.
Yes.
You're trying to get as much money from that person. And all through December, business owners are going to try and get as much money they can from you.
Sure.
Try and be prudent. Buy what you need. Yes, splurge a little, to celebrate yourself, what. But again, in budget, like Marjo talked about. Otherwise, you buy everything and then January we are crying. Please, we shall not be crying with you.
I know.
We shall not,
Yes. Okay. And on that point, actually, the other trick or tip that you can pick from that is planning the enjoyment. Because most of the times we don't plan for the enjoyment. We use all the money in there for enjoyment. And people feel like, okay, when I'm on this journey of saving, investing, I should live a very miserable life. It's not true. I tell people it's not true. That usually when you talk about investment, people are even sad already. They're, okay, now I'm not allowed to spend. So I tell people, plan your spending. We are going into the festive season. Make sure that you do things that you're excited to do. Like plan for that time where you go out with your family, you're enjoying. And that's why we say, have that percentage for saving, such that this one, you're enjoying your money guilt-free.
Yeah.
Like we tell people, have guilt-free spending. That I've already saved this, I've invested this year. This one that has remained is for my enjoyment,
Yeah.
such that you don't carry on the burden or the guilt of spending that money. So being on this journey doesn't have to be miserable. Put that money aside where you're going to enjoy with your friends and family, but you know you have already put aside some money for Jan, you've put aside money for school. Don't be part of those people that are crying for school fees, please.
Yeah.
Let us start now
That stuff
planning
needs to
for
end
it.
in 2024,
Yes,
please. Crying
that's
for
true.
school fees, plan for it.
Now.
So another thing that helps me, with this bonds thing, I've learned that instead of eating my seed, I eat the harvest.
Yes.
So like bonds really help you. You put your money in, they pay you a certain amount,
Yes,
per
the
month
harvest,
or per,
yeah.
So that's the money for us that we use for
Yes,
enjoyment. Now you see people,
nice.
you're seeing them Christmas, they have gone over where you're like,
I know.
let me go.
Let me also
Kumbe
get
you're eating
there.
your seeds.
I know,
People
for
are
them
eating
they
their
plant.
fruit. They have already
Yes.
planted. Now fruits have come.
Yes.
So it's one principle you need to think about when it comes to enjoyment as well. Don't eat your seed. If you didn't plant it long time ago,
Yes.
maybe wait and you plant later. It's okay to say, December, we are actually not doing anything. We're not traveling.
Yeah.
Just because Majo has gone, we are not traveling because we
Yes.
can't afford it
That's
now.
true.
But we shall travel in Feb.
Yeah,
You get?
that's and prices will be lower a
Yeah,
bit.
a bit,
That's also another trick when it comes to travel, by the way. You can travel off season because then the things are more affordable. You get to enjoy those the beaches and everything wherever it is that you're going, that you don't have to be part of the crowd. Sometimes we feel like travel is only Christmas. What? No. You can choose to go in Jan or in Feb, and you'll even enjoy those.
Yeah. Amazing. So, my final tip, you might have others.
Yes.
Mine is not paying yourself first. Not paying yourself first. When you go and do your hair,
You're paying that
the
person.
hairdresser.
True.
When you go and buy a shoe, you're paying that other person.
Yes.
For you, what have you paid yourself? And the only way to pay yourself is what are you saving first for yourself? We have talked about it, but I wanted to emphasize, what are you paying yourself first? That's the only gift to yourself.
That's true.
Because everything else, you've paid that nail guy, you've paid the jacket guy, you've paid the makeup chick, you've not paid yourself.
That is
please,
true.
ensure to pay yourself first by putting money aside and save it somewhere for something,
That's true. And usually I tell people, if you've not paid yourself first, or if you've not put that money aside, then you're volunteering. So don't move around.
In life.
I know. I'm working with this company. No, say I'm volunteering with this company. Because you're not making money there. You're not paying yourself there. Because like she said, all that salary is for the landlord, landlady, or everyone else, the groceries. You're making these people rich. Even if you're using public transport. Usually I do some trainings for border people, the people that people feel like, they have no money. Those are putting up establishments and you're making them wealthy.
Yeah.
They have rentals, they're doing this, they're doing the other. People in the markets, you're making them wealthy. And you will think, me, I'm corporate, I'm getting my salary. We have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
So let us learn to put that money aside before. It should be before. And it's also encouraged in that book, Profit First, that for the long time, we know when you get the money, it's sales or maybe revenue or salary minus expenses. The balance is profit.
Yeah.
But that never works because your expenses are so many. So that profit first is first save off that percentage and then live on the rest. That will help you save the money. Because if you say, let me first pay landlord, before you remember, the money is done and you need more money to cater for more expenses. So put that aside and then start working on the different expenses that you have.
Yeah.
So it's important to start getting paid. Start paying yourself. Even as a business owner, that's another mistake we make. Business owners, you have no salary. Whenever you need money, you go into the business and get. And then you wonder why your business is not growing. So even as a business owner, make sure you're paying yourself off that money. If you're not yet sure, maybe your business is small, you can have a percentage. Then on every dress I sell, every shoe, I have maybe 1%. Start there. If the money is not enough, you have two options. Increase the sales coming in or reduce the expenses. Sometimes we spend because, and this I read from a book, there's another book that I love called Destroying Debt by Ugandan author Grace Munyira, the owner of Vine Pharmaceuticals. He said we get into debt or we overspend because we have a high level of self-importance. I feel like I'm the queen here, I'm the king, I deserve this. So that high level of self-importance is bringing us problems. We are spending money we are not supposed to be spending. We are killing our businesses because we are getting the money out of it. So let us plan. Save that money aside. Have that profit first, even from your business, such that we are able to prosper. My final tip as well is or the bad money habit is not planning for our retirement early.
Yeah.
Like you said, those in their 20s, okay, and I'm still there briefly, but we feel like, retire, I'll think of those things when I'm 40.
Yeah.
No. The best time to start planning for your retirement is when you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
That's the best time. If you're watching this and you're already in your 40s, 50s, okay, you're a bit late, but you can also start. You can start because some of you, you start because some of you are already in the retirement, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But the best time to start is now. And that's why Lisa talked about the bonds. That's a good way because usually they're long term. You're like, I'll leave this bond maybe 30 years, 20 years, such that that's a retirement plan for me. So start now. Don't say, okay, I'll only put in the unit trust word because I can get my money from that. But have also some long-term goals or that can help you plan for your retirement now. Don't wake up at 40, at 50 and say, okay, now I need to plan for retirement. What do I do? No, start now. Even if you're a business person and maybe you're not privileged to have maybe the NSSF that companies pay, you can have it. The bit is there is that voluntary option where you can just pay your NSSF there. Start planning your retirement, whatever it is.
I love that. And one thing we also did is looking at ourselves, Lisa and Steve at 50. What does that look like?
That is amazing.
So Lisa and Steve at 50, you in all those different areas, what does that look like financially? You know, kids' school, where will they be? King and Rain will be how old? Like,
I know.
Plan that properly.
That's the best thing you can do.
Because if you don't do that, you'll just end up, you're 50 and you're like, the kids that need university school fees. How come I didn't know? No. But when you look at it now, okay, that is how many years from now? For me, it's 20 years from now. Okay. Financially, where will we be? What shall we do? What, like, you plan everything so that by the time you reach 50, you've planned, you can retire. Some people think retire, you have to reach up to 65 until. No, it didn't have to be that way. But if you plan well, I mean, you can retire even at 50, at 40, like if you just plan. So I really, really love that. Marjo, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Where can people find you? You talk about the financial journal and all that stuff. Please tell them.
Yes, so we can connect on Instagram. I'm on all social media platforms. I'm on LinkedIn, Marjorine Nantambi on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. We can connect really. And WhatsApp, do I share my contact?
If you want to share your contact, they can reach.
Okay, that's okay. 0774 512359. That is my WhatsApp. But even when you reach out through any social media platform, we can always get in touch.
Yes. And you know, Marjo has a financial journal to help you track your finances, your expenses. Please reach out. There's no excuse, but I didn't know I've plugged you. And she also always has a vision boarding happening every beginning of the year around there. Please look out on her channel, on her platforms, and the information will be there. I hope you found value in this video. Let us know in the comment section what has been your key take home that you're going to implement before the year ends or in 2025. My name is Lisa Kosima. As always, I'm here to inspire.